Hey all, it's Rafi. Today's game started with d4, knight f6, and c4, e6, which is the Nimzo-Indian, to which I'll play g3. So we're playing a 10-minute game with 5-second increment, rapid, here on Lee Chess against AB 950. So we have the beginning position on the board of the Catalan opening from white. So we're going to just develop our pieces normally here and hopefully have a good game. So black typically, so at this point in the game usually is when black takes that pawn. And now the best move is actually knight c6. This is going exactly like my game yesterday I had against another strong player that I ended up unfortunately losing. So here there's bishop takes, and there is also a couple of different moves here actually. So yeah, different possibilities for sure. So I've seen yesterday a couple of moves like bishop takes c6, b takes, and then knight a3 was one idea. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, queen moves, knight takes e7 check is another idea. So yesterday I had a game where I think here I played bishop g2, but today I'm going to try knight a3 and see how that goes. So he takes it right away. And he plays bishop b7. So we both have a set of doubled pawns now, and I don't know. This is definitely an interesting scenario here. Maybe I'll get this bishop out and possibly trade the bishop for the knight, because the knight does have a really nice outpost square on d5, so it would make some sense to trade that piece off and maybe go after the c4 pawn, which is his weakness. So he has c4, c7, a7 as weaknesses, and I have just a3 and a2. However, the c4 pawn is a passed pawn, so I do have to be careful with that. And c5, the move c5 is coming. Pretty sure that's definitely happening. And then the c pawn becomes just a passed pawn. So these are things that I definitely need to keep in mind. But I think getting rid of this knight and then getting control of the d4 square is important, though, which I can also do, by the way, with the move e4. I would evaluate the position as probably equal-ish. I think it's pretty equal. I would maybe even say that white might have a slight advantage in this position. So he goes into a long think. And I'm wondering, what is he calculating really in this position? What are his ideas that he's coming up with? Yeah, I don't know. What should black do here? I think black should probably grab the bishop pair with h6. And then quickly try to get in c5. Maybe get in c5 right away, actually, even. It's another option. So yeah, these are the two things I would go for. I think once he gets rid of that c-pawn, you know, that's one weakness he can get rid of. And then he can try to maybe put a rook on c8, push that c-pawn down. With the other rook, come down to b2 and really start to, you know, pressure the e2 pawn as well. Those are definitely ideas. That's an interesting move. Excuse me. It's definitely an interesting move. So he wants to just pressure the... Okay, I see what's going on here. So how many doubled pawns is he gonna take in this game? I'll go ahead and take that knight. Maybe now I play e3. Which definitely weakens me a lot on these light squares. There is absolutely no doubt. Now I have light square problems, but, you know, he doesn't really have any other pieces to attack with besides the queen on those light squares. Like, if he had a knight or a bishop or something like that, I would definitely be very worried. But I am a little bit worried always, you know, with light square problems. But hopefully it will not be that big of an issue. His king is not the safest either. Although his king does have h8, which is a much safer square for his king than g1 is for mine because of the light square weaknesses I have in the position. Like, if I could somehow bring my g-pawn back to g2, I would have no problems in this position. No problems with my king. No worries. So my next couple of moves include queen a4, getting the queen developed, which keeps pressure on a7 and c4, and then immediately putting a rook on... Let's see, he goes for it right away. He wants to right away play moves like h4, basically. So I'm thinking about playing h4 myself now, actually, which will basically make this h5 pawn kind of a weakness, actually. So maybe now is a good time to play queen a4. I'm sure he'll play, I don't know, rook b2 or something like that, maybe. If rook b2, there's queen a7. Rook takes f2. Just calculating all the different types of sacrifices and stuff to see which of those might work. If queen c2, rook b2 chases the queen away. So I think queen to a4 makes the most sense here. So next moves might include rook to c1, rook to d1, rook to c1, rook to c3, rook to the rook from f to c1, basically piling up on c4. That's what I'm planning. So now maybe I play rook to d1. Oh. Is there a problem here, actually? Oh, no. Maybe I missed something here. C takes d4, rook takes d4, runs into rook b1 check. That is unfortunate. Wait, rook takes d4, rook b1 check, rook d1, rook takes, queen takes. I should be all right, I think. My queen on a4 very nicely actually defends the d1 square. Amazingly. So now I just bring this rook back. Very interesting geometry going on here. So if queen takes d1, there's queen takes, rook takes, rook takes. Then there's rook b2. Oh, that might be complicated for me. He's going to end up winning a2 and a3, I think. And I'm going to end up picking up c4. And he's going to have the pass pawn on the a file. So he's going to be up a pawn in this game, I think. That's what I'm thinking right now. So he should probably take... He should probably play queen takes d1 and follow that line. So queen takes d1, queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook b2. Although, after rook b2, I could... No, that's too passive. I thought about rook a1, but that's just way too passive. I have to go for c4, so I have to play rook c1. He takes. I then play... Oh, I can even just defend, though. I can play rook c3 and hold a3 pawn. That's definitely an option. That makes his king... I mean, his rook kind of a little passive there, attacking my a3 pawn and not being able to defend c4. Then he'll probably play king f8. I'll play king g2, king e7, king f3, king d6. No. I can't play king e4 because f2 will be hanging. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to consider. But I'm pretty sure queen takes d1 makes the most sense for him. Otherwise, I mean, what other options are there, really? Rook takes a1, rook takes a1, c3, maybe? Something? No, that just doesn't make sense. h7 is weak. I think he's going to take on d1 with the queen. Other moves don't seem to make a lot of sense here. Other moves are not really making a lot of sense that I can see, as far as I can see. Oh, interesting choice. So he goes for the rook on a1. And c3. Oh, wow. So if queen takes a7, then... this rook is getting quite active, that's for sure. What about queen c2? There's queen d2. Rook c1 takes. Queen c2. Rook c8. Rook c1. Yeah, taking on a7 is definitely risky. I know that much. That's just way too much. Way too greedy, way too risky. Just not gonna work. So it's between rook c1 and queen c2. So rook c1 drops a2 pawn, I think. And then rook takes c3 runs into queen a1 check, picking up the rook. So queen c2 has to be the way to go. So queen c2, rook b2, then rook takes c3. Sorry, queen takes c3. Doesn't have anything there. Yeah, I think I'll play queen c2 here. Queen d2, rook c1, then rook b1 doesn't work because I can just take it. So he needs to play something here, like, I don't know, queen c5 possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not totally sure what the best response from black side might be here. Oh, interesting move. Queen d2. I take, he takes, rook d1, rook b2. No, that's way too... Yeah, that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to play this move. What? Oh, wow. Wow, that's crazy. What a move. Look at that. That is, wow. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice move. I did not see that. Okay, so with that move, can't take on c3, of course. Queen takes f2, mate. Coming next. Queen takes rook, doesn't work. Can't leave the queen there. I have to take the queen, basically. So then do I play rook check first and then put the rook behind the pawn? Oh no, that loses. Because he just plays rook b1 and followed by queen. Oh. So rook d1, rook c2, king f1, rook c1, king e2. So I'm just in time. But after rook d1, he'll just take on a2. King f1, he'll take on a3 or something. Then he'll have... Yeah, he'll just have the extra a pawn, basically. That's what it comes down to. You'll have an extra a pawn. That's pretty much how it goes. Okay. So if I can now somehow... Let's go ahead and... So he'll just check me on a1 and he can push my king back again. That's the thing. So he goes that way. So now I can come here. And now if check, then I can go to b2. I think he should have checked me on a1 and pushed my king back to e2. Because I can't play king c2 because rook a2 check. He's going to trade queen and he's up a pawn. And he'll win. But now that my king gets to the queening square on a1, It's not so simple, I think. Now it's a little more tricky. So I'm just trying to think of where his king might be able to enter in this position on the king side. I mean, what is he going to try to do is my question. I don't know. But I have to hold tightly in this position. I have to hold very tight. I think I'm going to play rook d1 next move. So eventually he's going to want to walk his king over somehow. So the march begins, huh? Now maybe I'll play here. And the idea is to play rook c5. Hmm. Thing is that I don't want to move any of the other pawns because so now he's gonna get into f3. That's the problem. So king e4 now. Trying to think how to play this position correctly. Maybe now I go after this guy. Here, he goes here, take. He's gonna take all my pawns. I think I have to play passively here. I'm not sure, honestly. Because if I drop f2, everything on the king side drops. That's the problem here. I have to hold on to that pawn, I think. That's annoying. Oh, man, that's a big mistake I just made. That sucks. That basically ends the game now, pretty much at this point. Horrible mistake I just made. I should have... That just ruins it. That's pretty much it now. He's up 2 pawns now. Gosh. Jeez. Literally everything just fell apart instantly. Nothing I can do in this position now. It's lost. All lost. Completely lost. Man, just yesterday and today, back-to-back unfortunate losses. Just hate these kind of losses. Okay, so let's look at this thing. Very annoying loss. Very annoying. Yesterday, same thing. I played a game like this, and yeah, just a drawn game, and then guy squeezed out a win out of it somehow. Kind of the same thing happened today. I think it was a draw. And I'm honestly very convinced that late at night, these people are actually using computers, I think. A lot of them are. I don't think this guy did, honestly, but yesterday's opponent, I feel like he did. Like this guy here played almost a perfect game. 2 mistakes, 3 inaccuracies, no blunders, 21 average centipawn loss. That's just... Oh, man. People are playing very accurate these days on here. It just makes me question, like, I don't know. So all pretty standard stuff. So here, Queen C2, Knight E5 are the most common. Queen C2, that's a move that I need to consider more. Why don't I play that more often? People just play Knight C3, interesting. So Knight A3 is not it's not a move with a lot of reputation, huh? Played, but usually white's not winning after Knight A3. So it's 11 moves of theory as of right now. Bishop B7. So takes. And then I played bishop to G5, Queen D5, takes. Still theory, all theory. So 14 moves of theory so far. Interesting. E3, H5. He broke theory with H5. So that was 15 moves of theory, just like yesterday's game, actually. Wow. So, yeah. So H5, he breaks theory. Now we're out of theory, and then we just on our own, basically. Oh, we came back to theory again. Never mind. It just looked like it for a second. Okay, so after this, let's switch over to the engine. So I played H4 because I was a little worried about him playing h4 himself and maybe playing h3. So that was my worry. Excuse me. So I'm not really sure why h4 is looked at as such a bad move here. What's wrong with it? I think the main thing is that, okay, so if I just play rook c1, he plays h4. Queen check. Oh, this queen check exists. G5, I can take here. That's interesting. So you can't play h4 because of the tactic. Okay, well, I didn't see that. Missed it. So I played h4, then he plays rook to b8. Queen here. Now came c5. Now rook d1 is a mistake. Blunder. C takes. Shot for h4. What does the computer think of queen a4? It does find it. And it's the third choice. Let's see. Rook a to c1. Rook f to c1 are both playable. Check, rook d1. Really? Was there a tactic here? Rook b1 check, rook d1, then what happens? Then queen e4, interesting. That is a move I did not at all consider. What is this about? So queen e4. Interesting. So I'm in some sort of a strange zugzwang here, believe it or not. Like, the thing is that I can't really trade down to a queen endgame because he has this passed c-pawn that he's just going to queen with the help of his current queen. So, for example, rook takes b1, rook takes, queen takes, check, king g2. All he's going to do is just play c3, I think. And c2 and c1 queen. Let's look at that for a second. So if I just take this, he takes, I take, he takes, check here, and just, yeah, c3. And there's not really anything I can do about this pawn. That's the power of passed pawns. He's created this passed pawn and it's become very, very strong. So after this move, basically, I have to play something like this. And I don't really have any constructive plans or anything here, is what the engine is saying. So rook d1, obviously rook d1, then rook b1. Oh, wow. Same idea, basically. He's just going to trade off the rooks and then just queen the c-pawn is what it is. That's a very strong idea. Luckily, my opponent didn't really see this, but at the same time, the power of the c-pawn really bothered me this whole game. So he didn't find maybe that most accurate continuation with queen e4 and putting me in that kind of zugzwang, but he did definitely achieve an advantage here because he just, was up a pawn. He got took my both of my a pawns, essentially. So played c3, I played queen c2, queen d2. Oh wow, there's another interesting idea here actually I didn't consider. So queen takes d2, c takes, then king f1, rook b2, rook d1, rook takes a2, and then e4. It's kind of how the game played out really, but it's more like this. That was interesting too, rook b2. So I'm definitely worse here. No doubt. Down a pawn. So I'm down a pawn still, but I thought that here I could just keep the king from advancing. And so anyway, I started marching my king this way, and I thought here he should have played rook a1 check, but plays that, which I think I felt like it helped me because it helped me kind of activate my king to this side of the board a little bit. So I played king here. That's what I thought the ideal setup should be, is that my rook should stay on the second rank, protect f2. My king should go to a1, stop the queening from happening, and then he just doesn't have any way to make progress. But he does have ways to make progress. He can push his 2 pawns, which is what he does. Wow, I'm so losing here. So lost. I thought I was holding a draw very nicely. Then he just starts pushing these pawns, and wow, I am lost in this game. It's just a matter of time before he just grabs those pawns. So here it's obviously lost. Nothing else to do. Well, at least I didn't just butcher the game by dropping some pawn or something. It was just lost to begin with. It was just a matter of him finding the right technique to finish get the win. So that's the game. Biggest takeaway for me is definitely I need to learn this opening better. I just learned the Catalan recently. I've used to play the Catalan a long time back, but I've never really studied it. So recently studied it, and now started kind of trying out, the new weapon. And so far, it has not, believe it or not, it has not provided me with good results. I've played just a few games, and I've lost most of them with the Catalan so far. So I definitely need to do some more work. But as with anything, it comes with practice and playing these positions over and over, and just kind of seeing what the best moves are, after each game. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this game and learned something from it. Please subscribe to my channel so I can continue to make awesome videos like this and help you guys along in your journey, chess journey. And also like the video so my channel starts showing up higher in search engines. And finally, you can also leave me in the comments what kind of videos you would like to see next. Rafi Chowdhury signing out from Lee Chess.